What if it's just a shoe? Can you imagine? He caught a boot. Oh, it's wiggling though. You think it's a sea bass? They use cuttlefish. He's gonna help him.
It's like a manta ray.
Hey, we got a stingray. It looks like that.
Maybe they'll cut the line. Throw it back in. It's gonna toss it. And everybody's gonna clap. Somebody caught it already. I'm gonna throw it back in. San Francisco stingray. Oh.
Smells so good. Are you hungry now? Wait, what's the original dough? Yeah, Nick, where's the dough? Nick, big side. Yeah, there's some on
and they should rule the world. Professor X felt, no. We had a black soldier named Gabriel Jones, who really, wasn't a token black. He was a black guy who acted like a black guy, and the others reacted to him the way they would in real life and so forth. And there was a Jewish guy named Izzy Cohen. Now, you never saw an Izzy Cohen in comics before. An Italian, Dino Benelli, and so forth. It was an interesting. Well, I was told that we brought that book out. Oh, stand your ready on the line. It won't sell in Darien, Connecticut. It won't sell in Grosse Pointe. It won't sell down south. It won't sell in the west. It won't sell in the small towns. It won't sell in the big cities. Sold all over. It was one of our bestsellers.
What Stan did, which is really great as a writer, is that he reflected the world around him. And he grew up in New York City, and he would see people color all around you.
You're talking about the 60s when all this was happening. There was a lot of social issues being just blown in your face. The media was all about it. Stan was a showman. Stan was P.T. Barnum in comics. So ultimately, I think he went, this is going to grab attention. This is going to light up, and he went for it.
I wanted to play up minority races as much as possible, too. I felt there isn't enough of that in comics or in the world, so I tried to do that. The Black Panther, first black superhero. I wanted to do a black hero. He had done everybody as a villain, and one day I said, we ought to do somebody who's like a demigod. And I came up with this character, Galactus. Really kind of silly, but Jack made him look good. He's a guy who traveled through the galaxies, and he destroyed planets. And he wasn't a bad guy. He only destroyed planets because they provided him with his nourishment. He would drain all the energy out of a planet to keep himself alive. He was huge, and he had this huge spaceship. And he didn't want to harm anybody, but he had to live.
Jack and I discussed the plot. He went home to draw the story. He brought it in.
Well, when Jack gave me the drawings, I saw this nut on a flying surfboard. Sorry, you see, and I said, who's that guy? He said, well, I figured a guy like Galactus would have to have a herald who goes before him and flies on a flying surfboard.
I loved the way he drew this character. This character looked so heroic and so noble and so dramatic that I gave him the name the Silver Surfer.
And I figured I'm not going to just make him a guy who says, hey, Galactus, sweetie, I found a planet for you. I'll try to give him a personality of somebody who's pure and noble from outer space, and who doesn't really want to find these soon-to-be victimized planets. So Galactus,
He became my mouthpiece for how I feel about a lot of things. And I told Jack I want to use this character a lot. And he came to Earth and he would say things like, we live in the greatest planet you could ever want. It has everything. It has clean, fresh air and everything. Why do we fight each other? Why do we hate each other? Why is it? What's the matter with us? Are we insane? Inevitably, mostly at colleges, some kid would get up. Stan, tell us about the Silver Surfer. And do you equate his Judeo-Christian philosophy with that? And they get into all of this deep stuff, which I loved.
I can't tell you how many college students do term papers about Dr. Strange's incantations, about the symbolism and the mythology involved in the mighty Thor who lives in Asgard, home of the Norse gods, about Spider-Man's personal problems and home life, about the religious significance of the Silver Surfer, who we could devote a whole show to the Silver Surfer because there are so many complex and I'd like to think profound elements in the Silver Surfer stories. And I guess even though comics are thought of mainly as a children's medium, I guess I get the biggest kick of knowing that not only do the kids like the books, but in some way we seem able to reach older readers on another level, and the college kids are so much into these comics also.
The mighty Thor. I had a scene where he comes down to Earth and he's talking to a bunch of college kids. And in those days, the kids were all dropping out. And he gave them a little lecture. I don't remember the exact words. I really was very proud of writing this. Where he said, there's nothing wrong with rebelling. There's nothing wrong with wanting to change things. But you can't do it by dropping out. You're giving up. If you really wanted to change things and make them better, you've got to plunge in. You've got to be a part of the process. Only I wrote it better than I'm saying it now. And it...
Gentlemen, how's your love life? Not what it used to be. There's a way to fix it. For over 20 years, Boston Medical Group has delivered a simple and effective solution for ED, proven to work when all else has failed. It's ICP, also known as ED shots or Trimix. ICP uses a custom blend of FDA-approved medications specifically formulated to restore healthy blood flow where you need it most. In fact, ICP works for 98% of men in just a few minutes, regardless of age or medical conditions. Our telemedicine platform now brings this virtually 100% effective solution right to your doorstep. Medication is good for 1 year, and there's free formula upgrades for those who need more potent results.
courage.